If they loved you, truly loved you, you would never have to go searching for proof in silence. You would not be left tracing the spaces between their words or deciphering the weight of a delayed reply. Love does not whisper uncertainty into your heart. Love does not keep you guessing. Love stands tall, unashamed, and clear. There are people who will make you believe that affection is a mystery, that devotion hides behind confusion and distance. But love, real love, is not a game of hide and seek. When someone loves you, they show you, not in grand gestures alone, but in the small consistencies, the quiet reassurances, the everyday warmth that says, you can rest here, you are safe here. If they loved you, you wouldn't be left to wonder whether you matter. You would feel it in the way they listen, in the way they hold your dreams as gently as their own. Love is not found in mixed signals or half-hearted efforts. It is in the steadfast presence of someone who sees you, truly sees you, and still chooses you. So many hearts have grown weary to read between the lines of someone else's uncertainty. But love does not live in confusion. It lives in clarity, in effort, in truth. It says, I am here. It does not make you beg to be understood or chase to be remembered. If you ever find yourself wondering, do they love me? Pause and listen to the silence that answers back, because love will never leave you asking. Love will never let you doubt your place in someone's heart. When it's real, it tells you without words. When it's true, you'll know, because you will feel peace, not question marks. And so, my dear, never mistake uncertainty for depth, never confuse inconsistency for passion. If they loved you, you would never have to wonder. If they loved you, you'd never have to stand in the doorway of doubt, waiting for them to see your worth. You would not have to build your case like a lawyer, listing all the reasons you deserve care, respect, and consistency. Because love does not need convincing. Love already knows. Love already sees. Love, when it is real, doesn't make you perform for its attention. It meets you where you are and holds you steady. You see, too often we confuse longing with love. We take absence and call it mystery. We take inconsistency and call it passion. We let ourselves believe that if we just love a little harder, they'll finally recognize our value. But love that demands your exhaustion is not love, it is hunger. It feeds on your hope and leaves you empty. And my dear, you were not made to be starved. You were made to be nourished. When someone loves you, their presence feels like sunlight after a long winter. It is not always loud or dramatic, but it warms you through. It gives you space to breathe. It allows you to unfold, to expand, to be fully yourself without apology. You do not have to shrink to fit their comfort. You do not have to dim your light so theirs can shine brighter. Real love celebrates you. It does not compete with you. There are those who will tell you they love you, but their actions will sing a different tune. Their love will be a performance, rehearsed and glittering under the right lighting. But love, true love, does not need an audience. It shows up when no one is watching. It speaks softly but truthfully. It does not disappear when things grow inconvenient or complicated. You should never have to wonder if someone cares. You should never have to chase clarity, because love that is meant for you will not confuse you. It will comfort you. It will not hide behind pride or figure. It will reach for you even when words fail. It will choose understanding over distance. It will not punish you for feeling deeply. So many of us have been taught that love must hurt to be real, that love must challenge, test, and bruise us before it heals. But that is not love, that is conditioning. Love does not bruise, it builds. It does not test your limits to see how much pain you can bear. Love is not a battlefield, and you are not a soldier in someone else's emotional war. Love is peace. Love is safety. Love is knowing that you can rest your heart in someone's hands without fear that they'll crush it out of carelessness. If they loved you, you would not be begging for the bare minimum. You would not have to decode mixed messages or cling to crumbs of attention. You would not be wondering what you did wrong, or why your worth seems invisible to the one you've given your heart to, because love, when it's pure, sees you clearly. It does not overlook your value or forget your name when convenience fades. There's a calm that comes with being truly loved. It's the calm of being understood without explanation, of being accepted without condition. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to keep proving that you're enough. Love doesn't ask you to earn it. It invites you to receive it. And when someone loves you, you'll know, because their love feels like home, not like a test. People often stay in confusion because they fear being alone more than they fear being unloved. But let me tell you, there is nothing lonelier than lying next to someone who makes you question your worth. There is nothing colder than being in a room with someone whose silence weighs more than any goodbye. Being alone is not the enemy. Loving the wrong person and calling it destiny is. When they love you, they won't make you feel like too much. They won't ask you to quiet your emotions or mask your needs. They will hold space for your softness and your strength alike. They will understand that love is not about perfection, but about presence. They will not vanish when things get hard. They will not turn away when you reveal your scars. They will stay, not out of obligation, but out of devotion. If they loved you, their love would not keep you on edge. You wouldn't be waiting for their moods to decide your worth. You wouldn't be wondering whether today you'll be cherished or ignored. Love is not unpredictable. People are. Love, by nature, is steady. It is human ego that makes it complicated. You deserve a love that steadies you, not one that shakes you. A love that brings you peace, not one that makes you question your sanity. A love that reminds you that you are worthy of softness, even when the world feels hard. And if they cannot give you that, it does not mean you are unlovable. It simply means they are not ready to love at your level. Sometimes we mistake attachment for love. We cling because we fear loss, not because we feel connection. But love, real love, does not cling. It connects. It allows freedom. It says, I trust you enough to let you be. When someone loves you, they do not try to control you. They do not fear your independence. They celebrate it, because love that grows in freedom flourishes. Love that grows in fear withers. If they loved you, you would not have to beg for reassurance. Their actions would reassure you without needing to be asked. Their consistency would be their confession. You would not have to read hidden meanings into every message or overanalyze every silence. Love would speak plainly. Love would be known. There is a dangerous comfort in uncertainty. It keeps you hoping that maybe, just maybe, tomorrow they'll love you better. But my dear, tomorrow is not a promise, it is a mirror of today. If they are making you question their heart now, it will not become clearer later. Time does not fix what honesty could not begin. Love is not meant to confuse you, it is meant to anchor you. It is the hand that steadies you when life shakes. It is the voice that says, you matter. Even when you doubt it yourself, it is not perfect, but it is present. It is not flawless, but it is faithful. If they loved you, you would not be fighting battles alone while calling it partnership. You deserve the kind of love that doesn't hide behind excuses. The kind that shows up in action, not just words. The kind that says, I'm here, and means it every time. If they loved you, you would feel it in the way they treat you when no one is watching. You would see it in the effort they make, not the apologies they repeat. Love is not about grand declarations. It's about quiet consistency. It's in the morning check-in, the small kindnesses, the remembering of what matters to you. Love is not always fireworks. Sometimes it's a soft glow that never goes out. If they loved you, that light would never leave you in the dark, and yet so many hearts keep waiting for someone to change, to wake up and finally see them. But my dear, if you have to wait for someone to love you, they don't. Love is immediate in its recognition. It knows what it sees. It does not need convincing, does not need time to remember what's real. If they loved you, they would already be showing you. You can spend a lifetime trying to earn someone's affection, but love that must be earned is not love. It's approval dressed in disguise. Real love is given freely. It is not a transaction. It does not keep score or demand repayment. It gives because giving is its nature. If they loved you, you wouldn't feel small in their presence. You would not be competing for their attention or begging for their empathy. You would not be silenced, dismissed, or diminished. Love does not shrink you. Love expands you. It makes room for your voice, your truth, your dreams. There are people who will love the idea of you, the way you make them feel, the way you look, the way you heal them, but not the real you. They will love your light until it shines too bright. They will love your kindness until it asks for reciprocation. But love that is real does not end when the mirror stops flattering. It stays even when the reflection changes. If they loved you, they would not leave you wondering where you stand. Their love would not depend on conditions, convenience, or control. They would not turn affection into a currency you must constantly earn. They would not make you feel like love is a prize to be won. Love is not a performance, it is a promise, a quiet vow that says, I see you, I choose you, and I will keep choosing you. That is what love sounds like. That is what love feels like. If they loved you, you wouldn't have to doubt their intentions. You wouldn't be walking on eggshells, afraid of saying the wrong thing. You wouldn't be holding back your heart, rationing your vulnerability to protect yourself from rejection. When love is true, you can breathe fully, you can speak freely, you can exist without fear. And I want you to remember, when someone loves you, they don't just say it, they build it with you every day, brick by brick, not through perfection, but through presence, through patience. Truth, if they loved you, you wouldn't have to teach them how to care. You wouldn't have to remind them to show up. You wouldn't have to convince them that you are worth the effort. Because love already knows your worth, it feels it, honors it, and protects it. Do not mistake attention for affection. Do not mistake longing for love, because the one who truly loves you will not make you question what you mean to them. They will not leave you lost in uncertainty. They will make sure you never have to wonder. Love is not about the loudest words or the biggest gestures. It's about how someone makes you feel when everything else is quiet. If they loved you, you would know it in your bones. It would not leave you sleepless, second-guessing or chasing answers. It would give you peace. And that, my dear, is how you'll know the difference. Because love will never make you wonder. It will make you sure. If they loved you truly and deeply, you would not spend nights replaying conversations, searching for meaning in pauses, or questioning what you did to make them distant. You would not be left holding fragments of affection, trying to glue them together into something that feels whole. Because when love is real, it is not broken, it is not inconsistent, it does not leave you wandering through doubt, begging for clarity that should already be yours. When someone loves you, they do not make you earn their care. They do not ration their tenderness like a currency. They give it freely because it is in their nature to love you without condition. You would see it in how they speak your name, how they honor your time, how they hold space for your heart when life gets heavy. You would not have to wonder if you are a priority, you would already know. Love is not supposed to confuse you. It is not meant to hurt more than it heals. It is not meant to leave you questioning your worth, your beauty, your spirit. Love is clarity. Love is honesty. Love is the warmth that walks beside you even when the road gets cold. When someone loves you, you feel it in their steadiness. Their love becomes your safe place, not your source of fear. You deserve a love that brings you peace, not a love that leaves you in pieces. You deserve a love that grows with you, that walks beside you, that chooses you every single day, not only when it's easy, not only when it's convenient, because love is not a sometime thing. It does not fade when tested. It not vanish in discomfort. If they loved you, you would never be left wondering whether they still do. Some people love only in moments. They love when it benefits them, when the light is soft and the air is still. But love is not seasonal. It does not bloom only when conditions are perfect. Love is steadfast, love is constant, love is faithful even through the storm. If they loved you, they would not run when clouds gather. They would stand with you, shoulder to shoulder, unafraid of the rain. If they loved you, they would not keep you guessing where you belong in their life. You would not be waiting for them to choose you to finally decide that you are enough. Because love does not hesitate, love does not delay, love knows what it wants and with purpose. It does not play with your emotions, nor keep your heart in limbo. You should never have to explain to someone how to treat you. You should never have to beg for respect, honesty, or kindness. Love that is real does not need instructions. It knows how to honor your heart. It listens when you speak. It remembers what matters to you. It treats your vulnerability as sacred, never as weakness. If they loved you, they would not disappear when you need them most. They would not go silent when your heart cries for reassurance. They would not retreat into pride when humility is needed. Love does not vanish at the first sign of difficulty. Love stands tall even when it trembles. Love leans in even when it hurts. Do not mistake inconsistency for passion. Do not confuse drama with depth. Love is not chaos, it is calm. It is the quiet certainty that even when everything else feels uncertain, this connection is real, this bond is strong, this presence is secure. If they loved you, you would not be walking on eggshells, afraid to disturb their affection. You would be standing freely, knowing that love does not punish you for being human. If they loved you, you would not be an afterthought. You would not be a convenience, a placeholder, or an option they turn to when loneliness strikes. Love does not treat you as a backup plan. It does not appear only when it's bored. Love stays even when the world gets nosy. Love stays because it chooses to. So many people settle for almost love, for half-hearted gestures that mimic affection. They tell themselves that something is better than nothing. But almost love will drain you. It will take everything you give and return only confusion. It will teach you to doubt yourself, to think that love must always hurt. But that is not the truth. Love should never make you question if you are enough. Love should remind you that you always have been. If they loved you, you would not need to keep proving your worth. You would not need to become smaller, quieter, or easier to love. The right person will not ask you to hide the very parts of you that make you real. They will not fear your fire. They will not flinch at your strength. They will love you in your fullness, not in fragments. Love is not found in apologies repeated without change. It is not found in promises that never become action. If they loved you, they would not need to keep promising, they would simply do. Love does not live in empty words. It breathes in effort, in consistency, in truth. There are people who will say all the right things but do none of the right actions. They will paint their affection in beautiful colors but never build anything lasting. You will find yourself believing in potential, waiting for them to become what you need. But love is not potential, it is presence. If they loved you, you would not be waiting for their transformation. You would already feel their devotion. If they loved you, they would not make you compete with their ego. They would not let pride stand in the way of tenderness. They would not turn love into a power struggle. Real love does not need to win, it needs to connect. It does not seek control, it seeks understanding. When love is real, it humbles you, it teaches you patience, it makes you gentle. Love does not keep score, it does not bring out old wounds just to prove a point. If they loved you, they would choose healing over victory, compassion over judgment, forgiveness over distance. If they loved you, they would remember your humanity. They would not expect perfection. They would understand that love is not about flawless moments. It's about choosing to stay when things are messy, imperfect, and real. They would not turn away when your strength falters. They would not shame you for needing comfort. They would reach for you, not retreat from you. If they loved you, they would not confuse silence for peace. They would talk, listen, understand. Love communicates. It does not disappear when things get hard. It does not use silence as punishment. It does not hide behind excuses. Love faces discomfort not because it's easy, but because it's worth it. Love that is real does not just happen. It's built. Brick by brick, word by word, day by day. It's found in patience, in forgiveness, in effort. If they loved you, they would build with you, not leave you building alone. They would see your effort and match it. They would meet you halfway, not watch you come all the way alone. Love does not make you feel like a burden. It does not tire of your presence or grow cold in your warmth. Love welcomes you even when you come with heavy stories and uncertain days. Love says, I am here, and means it. If they loved you, their love would not depend on your usefulness. They would love you not for what you give, but for who you are. Love does not attach itself to convenience, it attaches to truth. When someone loves you, they love your essence, your being, your spirit, not just the benefits of being close to you. If they loved you, they would protect your heart. They would not play with your emotions just to prove their power. They would not use your vulnerability against you. Love does not manipulate, it nurtures. It does not wound, it heals. So many hearts have been taught to fight for love, to chase it, to earn it, to hold on to it even when it hurts. But love that must be fought for is not love, it's survival. You were not born to survive love, you were born to thrive in it. If they loved you, you would not be fighting for your place. You would already have it. If they loved you, they would not measure their affection based on your mistakes. They would not withdraw warmth to teach you a lesson. They would not use distance as discipline. Love does not punish. It teaches through kindness. It corrects with care. When someone loves you, they do not let pride destroy what connection built. They apologize when they are wrong. They listen even when it's uncomfortable. They choose resolution over resentment. Love does not hide behind stubbornness. It reaches for peace. If they loved you, you would not have to question their loyalty. You would not have to look for proof in their messages or reassurance in their tone. Love is honest. It is transparent. It does not need to hide. It does not need to justify betrayal. Love that is real does not make you chase it. It meets you halfway every time. If they loved you, you would not feel invisible. You would not feel forgotten. You would feel seen, valued, cherished. And maybe the hardest truth is this: sometimes they care, but they don't love. Sometimes they like the idea of you, but not the reality of you. Sometimes they want your energy, your comfort, your light, but not your truth. And that is why you must learn to tell the difference between attention and love, between interest and intention. If they loved you, you would know. You would not be questioning. You would not be left in uncertainty. Love would speak loudly in its silence. It would show up in presence, in patience, in peace. You deserve love that does not hide. You deserve love that does not make you chase, that does not make you doubt, that does not make you shrink. You deserve love that expands you, that holds, reminds you that you are whole even when the world forgets. If they loved you, they would not make you wonder, because love, real love, is never a question, it is always an answer. So when the heart begins to act and the questions grow louder, remember this: love that is true does not leave you guessing. It does not come to confuse you or make you chase its shadow. It comes to steady you, to lift you, to remind you of your worth. If you must beg to be seen, it is not love. If you must shrink to be accepted, it is not love. And if you must keep wondering whether they care, then, my dear, they do not. Because real love does not whisper, it declares, it does not vanish. It stays, it does not break you, it builds, and when it finds you, you will not have to question it. You will know in the quiet peace that settles over your spirit, in the way your heart finally rests instead of reaching. That is the kind of love you were made for, the kind that leaves no room for wondering, only for gratitude.